Charles Leclerc wins the Monaco Grand Prix.
Number 10. Isle of Man TT, motorcycle racing.
For the week before the TT races, the riders practice every day.
Perhaps the world's most iconic motorcycle racing event, the Isle of Man Tourist Trophy races begin at the end of May and run for almost 2 weeks. The TT races treat fans to high-intensity races on the public roads of the British Crown Dependency.
Everyone that races here knows the dangers and they accept them and they do their best to ride accordingly. But I think it's sad in this world that we're all so wrapped in cotton wool these days and there's so few opportunities to do anything dangerous.
The races have garnered an unfortunate reputation for the amount of fatalities that have occurred over the years. Since the 1911 death of racer Victor Surridge, 269 more participants have tragically met their end at some stage of the competition. This led Sports Illustrated writer Franz Lids to describe the Isle of Man TT as, quote, a test of nerves and speed that may be sport's most dangerous event.
You sit on the start line, you're looking down that first hill and because it's not a mass start, you're sitting there getting waved off one at a time. The pressure on you, everyone's looking at you and it's a rush I've never had out of any other race.
Number 9. Dakar Rally, Rally Raid.
Now Kajiva rider Eddie Orioli was out in front with Carlos Massamora in second place. The two Peugeot 405s headed the timesheets once again, and Vatanen's fast backup, the 205 of Philippe Vonberg, was third.
Ever watch a motorsports race and think, wow, I wish this was held off-road in way more dangerous conditions? Then do we have an event for you. The Dakar Rally Marathon finds all kinds of vehicles, commonly excluding modified on-road vehicles, navigating harsh, unpredictable terrain without GPS or GPS-enabled devices.
That's not going to work, Miroslav. Well, it was inevitable, and Miroslav Zapletel's day is done.
The rally's first iteration was held in 1979, ranging from Paris, France to Dakar, Senegal. Nowadays, the Dakar Rally is Dakar in name only, with its last several iterations having been held in Saudi Arabia. Featuring motorbikes, quads, cars, trucks, and more, the rally is a breathtaking spectacle of sportsmanship, made all the more nail-biting by the possibility of serious safety mishaps.
That is heartbreaking to see. That's Michelle Kramer's car, and it's gone. The main thing is they are both okay.
Number 8. New York City Marathon, road running.
Today, we're heading on the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, exiting our first borough, Staten Island, on the first 2 crucial miles of the race. The first mile climbs to the highest point of the course, getting to around 250 feet or 75 meters of elevation, so be sure not to go out too fast. The bridge is absolutely epic.
Here's a race that's considerably safer than our last 2 entries. At least, we hope so. This iconic event is the world's largest marathon, dwarfing its legendary counterparts in Boston, Paris, and London, with 53,627 finishers in 2019. A qualifier for the World Marathon Majors, the race is so popular and well-known that a lottery system is required to cull tens of thousands of hopefuls. For example, out of over 200,000 applicants in 2025, only up to 3% will be selected.
It's the most applicants in the marathon's history, which has seen a surge in demand since the pandemic.
But if you're bummed about not getting in, there are a few options for a second chance. So take a look. There's the Roadrunner member-only second chance drawing. You can also apply to run through a charity or even the Roadrunner team for climate.
Starting in 1976, the marathon's course covers New York City's 5 boroughs, starting in Staten Island and finishing in Manhattan's beloved Central Park. We love New York indeed.
Abde Nagai, close here before, but this time and for all of 2024, he will be known as the TCS New York City Marathon Champion, Abde Nagai.
Number 7. Daytona 500, stock car racing.
Well, they're building speed, Mike, but the one thing I can tell you about the start of this race that all the drivers are going through is going to be experiencing the speed of the pack that they haven't experienced all week.
Time to kick back into high gear in a major way. Described as the United States' most prestigious stock car racing series, the NASCAR Cup Series peaks with the Daytona 500. It's quite literally the best of the best.
Chastain, lone wolf up here leading this pack. with those two Fords behind him.
Its unique timing places it at a distance from championship series in other sports. Despite its prominence and significance relative to other NASCAR races, the Daytona 500, held annually in Daytona Beach, Florida, takes place at the beginning of the year. Sometimes referred to as the Super Bowl of stock car racing, the Daytona 500 has long been a venue for some of the sport's highest-level competitors, like Dale Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip.
Checkered flag. Dale Earnhardt finally is a champion of the Daytona 500. Look out on pit road. Every man on every crew has come out to the edge of pit lane to congratulate the man who has dominated everything there is to win in this sport.
Number 6, Indianapolis 500, American open wheel car racing.
Mario Andretti being chased by Danny Sullivan. Sullivan darts out, pulls alongside Mario Andretti. It's a drag race down the main stretch. Can Sullivan pull Andretti into the first turn? Ron Carroll.
I've got him, and it is Danny Sullivan gets him. Danny Sullivan gets him down. No, he's grueling. No, he's spinning. Danny Sullivan spins.
A sporting event so iconic that the type of race it showcases was renamed after it, there are at least a few reasons why the Indy 500 is commonly marketed as the greatest spectacle in racing. In fact, the Indy 500 is so renowned that it's considered one of the core pillars of the Triple Crown of motorsport, alongside the 24 Hours of Le Mans and the Monaco Grand Prix.
And Alex Palou leads very strong into turn 1. Rinus VeeKay and Felix Rosenqvist with Scott Dixon going high.
Side by side with Scott Dixon there. A great move from the veteran. We got 2 wide all the way down through turn 1. As we see turn 2 now, everyone files through clean.
A race steeped in a rich history of traditions and rituals, 33 starters face off by racing 200 laps at a total distance of 500 miles, or 800 kilometers. Why not partake in the Indy 500's historical tradition of swigging a bottle of milk, like the winner does each year?
Before the race, they come up to all the drivers and ask you, what type of milk do you want? Do you want 2%, you want skim, you want buttermilk, which is what Louis Meyer had, buttermilk, which does not sound very good on a 100-degree day.
Number 5, Kentucky Derby, thoroughbred racing.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby. Fierceness had an okay start. He came away in the middle of the pack. Track Phantom will go to the early lead, and now John Velasquez gets Fierceness into the mix. Stronghold is there. Epic Ride goes up on the far outside. Just Steel is close up too as they race past the first time.
Who said the world's most compelling races were all run by people? Billed as the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, this competition features 3-year-old thoroughbred horses running a thrilling mile and a quarter. Although it shares the title of Triple Crown with the Preakness Stakes and Belmont Stakes, the Kentucky Derby is unquestionably the star of the show.
Just Steel perched up on the outside second. Fierceness is third just outside of them. Then Stronghold, Mystic Dan to the inside, and Epic Ride 3 wide. West Saratoga in behind that group. Then Stronghold, he's got 7 lengths to make up. Look back for Sierra Leone, he's still about 14 lengths behind.
First held in 1875, the Derby is among the oldest annual American sporting events, as well as the most watched and most attended. It's also colloquially known as the Run for the Roses, a reference to the 554 red roses awarded to the winner of that year's event. Come for the excitement, stay for the unique horse names, which include winners like Mystic Dan, Country House, and I'll Have Another.
It is Mystic Dan down toward the inside with the lead in the final 16. Forever Young, Sierra Leone.
Number 4, Tour de France, bicycle racing.
Anthony Turgis, Pit got through the middle.
La 3e victoire française.
J'ai gagné sur le Tour de France, c'est le Graal. C'est incroyable.
First held in 1903, this multi-stage race has blossomed into one of the world's most beloved sporting events. The Tour de France consists of 21 stages, like the mass start and time trial, and always includes a ride through the Pyrenees and Alps. Don't get confused by the name. On several occasions, the Tour de France has begun in nearby countries like the Netherlands, Belgium, and Italy. Often garnering crowds of up to 300,000 total spectators, fans watch eagerly to anticipate which cyclist will win the general classification, for which the coveted yellow jersey is awarded. Taking place over the course of just about 3 weeks, its riders will usually cover 2,200 miles in that time. Are you sweating yet?
Take a massive bow, Tadej Pogačar, because that is 5 wins in this year's race.
Number 3, Monaco Grand Prix, Formula One.
And one of the great motor races begins in 5 lights time.
and the Monaco Grand Prix is underway.
Operating at some of the highest levels of motor racing in the world, the venerated Monaco Grand Prix brings more than a touch of classy European flair to the sport. The Grand Prix is renowned for its tight athleticism, owing to its narrow Monégasque course, challenging even veteran drivers to sacrifice speed for safety.
The drivers have to make 100 circuits around the course, which is the most dangerous 2 miles in the racing world.
It's also known for grooming some of the sport's biggest stars, like multiple winners Graham Hill and Ayrton Senna. The Grand Prix is literally like watching history in motion, given that its course has remained more or less the same since 1929. Historically held the same weekend as the Indy 500 and Coca-Cola 600, the last weekend of May is a good time to be a racing fan.
And for the first time in 93 years, this fabled race is won by one of their own. Charles Leclerc wins the Monaco Grand Prix to achieve his dream.
We won it! Finally!
Number 2, 24 Hours of Le Mans. Sports car racing.
It's all-American front row with Penske's Porsche and the number 3 Cadillac, fastest in qualifying, but 2 Ferraris behind soon imposed themselves at the front of the race. The number 50 car would lead the very first lap, and the 51 car putting the Penske Porsche that started for pole under pressure to make it a red 1-2 in the early going.
Yeah, chances are you've heard of this one. The world's oldest active endurance racing event, those unfamiliar with the sport may be surprised to learn that this French competition is run a little differently than some of its peers.
Now they've made Dunlop Bridge much faster this year. By doing so, they've also made it safer. Not so acute as it was, and you can go round very nearly flat out.
The main point to take note of is that rather than whichever driver reaches the finish line in the shortest amount of time, the 24 Hours of Le Mans instead awards first place to the car that goes the farthest in that 24-hour span. Held annually near Le Mans, where else, this showcase is arguably the car race to end all car races.
In the end, though, they managed to make it home, measuring their pace against their economy. A stunning second consecutive win at Le Mans for Ferrari, and a first for the crew of car number 50.
Number 1, 100-meter dash at the Olympics, sprint racing.
An extraordinary atmosphere for an extraordinary lineup of men. It's pretty even at the moment. Kashane trying to find a way through. Can the Jamaican do it? Oh, it's so close!
If you're looking for an awe-inspiring display of what humans are physically capable of, you've come to the right place. Generating such legendary Olympians, and sports people period, as Usain Bolt, Florence Griffith Joyner, or FloJo, and Sha'Carri Richardson, the Olympic 100-meter dash is a guaranteed stunner. Bolt and Griffith Joyner set the men's and women's records for speed, at 9.5 and 10.5 seconds respectively. Runners have to take everything into account, be it when to start, how to finish, and even the wind speed. As such, it stands as one of the most daunting and revered athletic sporting events on the planet, and one of the Olympics' most remarkable, exhilarating categories.
They've been given exactly the same time! 9.79 for both of them! Lyles, by thousandths of a second! Thousandths of a second! Everybody thought Thompson had just hung on. Lyles came through on the near side. It was so close.
Which competition do you find to be the most thrilling? Let us know in the comments.
Anthony Turgis pitlock through the middle.
La troisième victoire française.
J'ai gagné sur le Tour de France, c'est le Graal. C'est incroyable.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.